In today's video, as I say, we are discussing finances. It's a tricky subject in everyone's vocabulary. It's something that we don't like to think about. It's something when we think about savings that we all think we can't do, when in actual fact you can. There's always things to save. There's always things to shave off the budget. And today, that's what we're going to be looking at. So if you're interested in that, do stick around. And that's what's coming up in today's video. So, the subject of finances. Today, I want to talk to you about budgeting and your household budget. As women, we often are in charge of the finances because the men often don't like to look after bank accounts, after savings. If you're anything like our household, we just ignore the subject and we just carry on as though it doesn't exist. But in this last year, since the beginning of the year, I've been doing a savings challenge and I've been shaving money off my food budget and getting my budget down to £25 a week for my main shopping, £10 a week for my bulk buy shopping, and £10 a week for my emergency pantry. Now that seems to be going really well. I'm sticking within my £25 budget. I let those £10 stack up until the end of the month. I'll have £40 to spend then at the end of the month, and then I'll go and buy tins, jars, anything that I need for the emergency pantry outside in my garage. And that other other £10 a week, sorry, goes then to buying flour, porridge, yeast, anything that I buy for my pantry in the house that I use for baking and cooking. So that's how my budget works. The £25 a week tends to go on things like cheese, milk, the ration style things that you would have bought during World War II, to put food on the table, like fresh food, apples, pears, carrots, leeks, milk, cheese, anything like that. That then tends to go from my £25 a week budget. So, getting back to today's video. So this video today is partnered by WILLOW WILLS. They're an online will writing company. And even if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of assets like us here, it just makes things a lot simpler and a lot easier. Now, the WILLOW will writing service was really easy to use. It took about 10 minutes for me to do the will. The questions were really, really simple. Were really easy to be able to navigate that. It also had an allowance in the mirrored section for me to leave uh, my will options for Stripe. And if anything happens to David first and then I pass away, I've got to try and consider what's going to happen to Stripe. Who do I want to look after him? Who would be his guardian? Who would take care of him? So these are sorts of things that pop up when you are doing your will. But Willow Wills was really easy to use and just took the pressure out of everything. So if you are interested in using their will writing service, then they are offering a 10% discount to you. The offer code is in the description bar below. Click on the link, it'll take you to their website and you can have a look for yourself and see how easy it is to use. So yeah, I highly recommend them. I used it. I'm so pleased that I've done it. I'm so pleased because I've got peace of mind. I feel a lot happier about my finances now. I feel a lot happier about David being taken care of or myself being taken care of should anything happen to David. And it just gave me great peace of mind. So yeah, Willow Wills in the description bar below. There's the discount code for 10% off. Pop over there and have a look for yourself. Right, let's get back to the video. The subject of finances. Finances, when you're on a very tight budget, often tend to be dismissed, and you think, I haven't got any money to save, I haven't got anything extra, I'm already stretched to my limit, to the max in my budget. Now, that's very understandable. I know exactly how that works, and I know exactly how you feel in that. And it's very discouraging when you want to save and you want to be able to put money aside and you think, I really cannot do it. It's just not possible. Well, I thought that. And then the more I started looking at my budget earlier in the year and started thinking about my food, I started looking at how I spend money on food. And I started thinking about all the things that I used to buy. And I really realised that I could save an awful lot of money on food if I cook differently and I shop differently. So I'll go into that in more depth in my membership video. But the savings, the first thing I want to talk about is saving a little Now, you may go for a cup of coffee once a week, or you may go out and think, do you know what? I need a treat. I'm going to go and get a meal deal. Like I often think when I go to the supermarket, I think, do you know what? I've done the shopping. I deserve something nice to eat, and I get a meal deal, and I get a cup of hot chocolate. And that mounts up, doesn't it? It can be like £4, £5, and then you think, now and again, you think, oh, just have a cake. I just fancy a cake. So then I used to go to one particular coffee shop and I'd buy a cake, a sausage roll, and a cup of hot chocolate, and that's like £8. And then the more I've thought about it this year and started cutting back, I've stopped going to the shops and I've stopped doing those things. And that money has been going away, and slowly but surely it's been building up. And yes, it's only like £10 a month, £20 a month. But you think over the course of a few months into a year, it all adds up. If it's £20 a month over a year, that's £240. So you just got to try and think how outside of the box of I don't have anything, and look, well, maybe I can save my shopping change. Maybe you have £2 a week left out your shopping, and you think I've got a load of 2p's, a load of 5p's, a penny, or a load of dollars and a load of cents if you're in America left in my wallet, and you think, well, do you know, I can take that, I can pop it in an envelope, I can pop it in a jar, let it build up, and then start depositing it into the bank, and before you know it, you've got some money put away. I mean, I often end up with a purse full of change, and then I just take it out and I pop it in my savings pot. And it doesn't half add up. And I'll talk about that again in more depth in my membership, because I don't want to put it here on the public sphere. But it does add up. And I went to the bank the other day and I was surprised as to actually how much money I'd been able to put away this year. Not just in savings, but also towards things like my car, towards the building's insurance. I bought a new fridge this year. I bought a second-hand car this year. And all that has come out of me cutting back my food budget. So that is number one. And number two, save your shopping change into an account, pay it towards a small savings goal. I don't know whether it will be a holiday, towards Christmas, so you can buy presents for people, um, towards rewarding yourself, instead of rewarding yourself with that instant gratification of going out and buying a coffee and a piece of cake. Put it away, save it, reward yourself with a new dress, reward yourself with a new hat, reward yourself with a new pair of shoes, or to go out for a nice meal with your husband or your family. Have a think and look at that change and that small savings change and say, what can I do with that change? And pop it away and let it just ferment in the bank, gaining a little bit of interest, and then put that towards something nice for yourself and a nice treat. Number three is any existing money that you may have in an account that's not earning much interest or any interest, like a current account. We all have that money that we're waiting to see where we need to spend it. And I've recently found that opening an easy access ISA, you can get unlimited transaction ones, and then you can use that as a little pot, like a little current account pot, say. So say at the end of the month, once all your bills and everything have gone out, say you've got £50 left. You can take that ISA, you can open that ISA, pop that £50 in, and that then from day one will start earning interest. It may not be a lot of interest, may just be a few pennies, but it'll start earning interest. Then the next month you may have £50 left. Pop that in your instant access ISA. And again the next month and the next month. And every month you're going to see that £50 building up. That's just an example. And then say your car breaks and you need to have, I don't know, the brakes done. You can then take that money out of that pot, go and pay for your brakes. It's earned a bit of interest, so it's not gathered dust. And you can then use that money then to go and get your brakes done. So what you can do is any surplus money you have lying around, say in a savings account that's only getting 0.5% interest or 0.05% interest, as mine was in Barclays, take that money, pop it in an ISA, and then out of that ISA, then you can then use that to then funnel and fund all the other things that you need to spend out money for. But in the meantime, it's gathering interest. Now, the interest, the ISA rate at the moment for a cash ISA is £12,000. And then don't put any more money in and you won't get taxed. After the 12 months is up and it's matured, you can then take that ISA totally tax free. All the interest is completely tax free. And you can either leave it where it is, gathering a small amount of interest once the rate drops. It might say it starts off at 4.56 and then it'll drop after the 12 months, it'll drop down to 3%. You can either leave it there or you can automatically transfer it legally through this legal transfer system over to another ISA that'll then gather more interest again, tax free. You can then start every year saving another £12,000. Now that might seem a lot, but if you're saving your shopping change and you're saving your money on your coffee and eating out for your lunch, as we've discussed in the other 2 points, that'll then start to build up. And that interest then is interest free. If someone gives you a gift for your birthday, you think, I don't want to buy anything, I want to put that away. Pop it in that ISA until you decide what you want to buy. And that then every day will start generating interest. And you're going to start getting paid tax free for putting your money in a different account that is going to gain you interest. Now, to me, that makes perfect sense. Why would you want your money to sit in a no interest account or a low interest account and it not gain you any interest when you can move that small amount of money that you've got in your current account over into an ISA and let that generate some money? I was popping my money into envelopes, and every week I was faithfully going along, popping the money into an envelope. And that was great because it taught me a lesson. It taught me how that money builds up. It taught me how, instead of wasting it and going out and buying frivolous things, if I put the money away that I would have spent, then that adds up. It mounts up. Just my change, just my small savings tasks that I set myself to start myself up was getting £24 a week. That adds up to, how much does that add up? 24, that's just under £100 a month. Pop that into an ISA savings account. It's going to generate interest every month, 4.5% a year. That's a lot of money over a year. So think outside of the box. Yes, you may have a small amount of money and think, oh, I haven't got anything to use. Take it, put it into something that's going to earn you money, and you do absolutely nothing other than spend 5 minutes opening the account and transferring the money. It's a no-brainer. I don't see why I haven't done it before. I've spent 30 years of not understanding how to use savings and how to get money without having to do anything for it. What have I been doing with my life? What have I been doing? Right, number 5. Let's have a look at where I'm up to. I'm getting myself all excited. Right, I've written it all down for you. Number 4, savings not earning interest. We all have those low interest savings accounts, as I've discussed. And we all have that money that we've had for years that we forget about, that we don't think about anymore. I had a savings account and I just put money into it. I didn't even think about the interest. It was earning me £3 every month. And I was saying, oh yeah, that's great. It's earning me a few pounds every month. But then I looked at some of the returns that you can get. And one of the accounts is 5%. There's another high yielding savings account. It's 8%. And I'm thinking, it's free money. Why is my money sat in this savings account that earns me nothing? And it's amazing how much those things add up. It may earn you a couple of £100 a year, but it's a couple of £100 that you didn't have. That maybe when you get it, you might need to buy a new washing machine, you might need to buy a new fridge like I did. You might need to have the money to put towards your car. You just don't know what life's going to throw up. But make sure if you're opening these accounts that they are easy access accounts, that you can take your money out whenever you need to. I'll discuss that more in my member video. But the thing is, if you open a high yielding savings account and you take money out, you can't then put it back in and the deposit amount on top. You can only put the deposit amount in every month. So say you open an account and it's £100 maximum deposit every month, and you've got, say, £500 in there, and you take 100 out. You can't put 100 back in and then an extra 100. You can only put that 100 back in, and that doesn't then increase your balance, but it just tops it back up to where it was before. But even still, it's still earning you money. that you didn't have before, that you haven't had to go out and work for. You're just sitting at home, opening a couple of accounts, and it's tax free. So my encouragement to you would be that if you look at your finances, sit down, write it all down, look through your deposit books, look through your bank accounts, and just look at what you have. And even the little amount that you have, these instant savings accounts you can open with as little as £1. You don't have to have a lot of money. And then over the month, you can then put money in. So say you put your coffee money in, say you put your spare change in, and then at the end of the month, then it'll gather a bit of interest. And then again, the next month, do the same thing again, and it'll gather some interest. And by the end of the year, your money can then, if it's an 8% interest account, will have 8% on top of what you've put in that account. So say over the year you've put £1,000 in, you get £80 interest back, and that's money that you didn't have. So sit down, have a look at your finances and say, what can I do with this money and where can I put it that's going to work for me? Put your money to work. Give your money a job. That's my one encouragement, is give your money a job to do. Don't tie it up in bonds and fixed term policies because you can't touch it. If you want to have it, that you can have it when you need it, put it in a high return ISA or a high return instant access savings account. And then if you need it, you can then borrow it. The last thing I want to say is write a will. No, I'll just finish off with the savings. You get £1,000 per year that you can in interest that you can earn before you pay tax. If you're a low income tax bracket earning around £12,500, you can then earn £1,000 a year interest each, not just for your household or your bank account, but each. So if you have an instant savings account, a high interest account, you can earn £1,000 a year through either having one account or multiple accounts. But it's tax free. The taxman doesn't need to know about it, and the taxman doesn't need to take any money off you. So that's just something to be aware of. Um, the last thing I would say, number 5, is write a will. If you're going to be setting up these saving plans and you have a partner, you can only set up these saving plans in your own name. So I'm doing this in my name. Write a will, because otherwise your partner or your husband will have to go through an awful lot of rigmarole to get the money that you've put aside. If you have a will and you say in that will, I want all of my savings, all of my assets to go to my husband or to my wife, um, then that money then will instantly be available to your partner. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the case because I'm married. I thought he instantly would get access to that. He doesn't. He doesn't. And having a will means that he will get instant access with my death certificate to anything that I have done with our money, and he will not have to wait for it. He'll not have to worry about it. The, the other option is to have an executor for your will, and they will deal with all that for you. But I would say, as my final 5th point, is get a will done to make sure that everything I do now, my husband gets full access to upon my death. Um, and also make a note of all the accounts that you have, all the account numbers, all the sort codes, and the balance that is in each account. So if you die, your partner knows instantly what money is available to them, how much they've got so they can bury you or have you cremated. If there's a funeral policy, let them know about it. If there's a life insurance, let them know about it. Keep all the paperwork together. And that way your partner is well looked after by you in the event of your death. I know it's ending on a somber note, but it's very, very important to make sure that if something was to happen to you, that your partner, your husband, will have access to the money that you've spent long and hard saving for. So now take what I say as just this is what I've done. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a qualified accountant. If you want real professional advice, go and see someone professional. But this is just what I'm doing at the moment in my house to sort out our money. It's just a good action plan. Um, and a good thought provoking plan. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, do like and subscribe, do hit that bell. That'll tell you when I upload new videos. So I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your week and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.